No one lives a fair life. Life isn't fair. No one lives an equal life. Life isn't equal. Are you going to overcome it and have an abundance mindset? And I'm not saying you have to have it all the time. Guess what? We all have bad days. There's plenty of days. I just sit on my couch, I watch a movie, and I say, you know what? I'm not doing anything today. I don't want to think. I don't want to deal with the world. I just need a me day and just reset. But you reset, you take a day, you reset, and you get back at it. You don't take a week, you don't take a month or a year. You get it done in that day, and you reset, and you go and attack it again. So I think I think the I think some of the biggest points are when you're around the right people and think the way they do, you will grow. You will grow. You will absolutely be a better person, and you'll be happier from it. I can't stress that enough. Where I'm at in my life right now is because of amazing people in my life. Hey everyone, Dan Rivers here. This is the Compound Mindset Podcast, Episode 1. This is something that we've been working on the past few months. It's kind of a passion of mine. I'm going to really dive into it on this episode to talk about what the compound mindset really is and how I view it and why it's important to me and how we operate in life. But I want to start off by introducing myself. I'm Dan Rivers with Rivers Capital Group. We're all things real estate. We do things from selling real estate, helping investors out, flipping, buying holds, private money lending. And we're going to have a few other branches that are actually coming soon in 2023 that I'm excited about. Can't wait to talk to you guys all about that. But right now, I want to give an investor tip. I think one of the most important things in this climate is to make sure that we do the right thing, especially over the next couple of years. We're really going to see that if we hit this recession they're talking about and it takes, 12, 17, 19 months. I think the average recession goes anywhere from 17 to 19 months. I think, anybody who's starting to struggle may start to question what is the right thing, because there's going to be times where you have to make money or you're starving and you need to feed the family. But one of the most important things in life is to just do that right thing. Just be a good person. At the end of the day, if you do that, even if you're struggling, people are going to help you out. People are going to see that. People by nature want to help each other out. The community that I'm in, I absolutely love it because we all lift each other up. We all just, if someone's looking to hire someone, or someone needs a good carpenter, an electrician, or whatever the case is, you'll see our group really jump in and say, hey, by the way, I know this person, I know that person. This person was talking about leaving their job that may be a perfect fit for it. So the community is there to help you. We're all here to help you. Just always do the right thing and be a good person, because reputation, geez, you take your whole lifetime to build it. I know everybody's heard this, and you can ruin it in a half a second, especially with social media and all these different platforms. It's so easy to just say something or do something wrong and be, lambasted for it. So just keep those morals up and do the right thing. That's something we strive by. We have it on our whiteboard at the office, and it's just really important. So I just wanted to bring that up. That's the kind of tip of the podcast. So let's talk a little bit about who I am and why I built Rivers Capital Group. So I was born and raised up in Massachusetts, a city called Brockton. I lived there most of my life, Tampa for a little bit, and then my wife and I and beautiful daughter, she wasn't born yet, but in 2018 we moved down here to Charleston, South Carolina. Absolutely love it. We just needed to get out of the cold weather. Anybody who knows the Northeast knows that right now, you're getting crushed with just, if it's not snowing, it's just that cold that goes right through your bones. So we moved down here in 2018. Absolutely loved it. Fell in love with just everything that has to do with Charleston. Ended up buying a home on James Island that's now a triplex, and then moved to Johns Island in our forever home. Never truly know if that's the case, but we live there now. Absolutely love it. Perfect place to raise a family. But that's my whole story is probably from 2024. I met this guy. His name's Sean. I was working at a bank just doing loans, and he approached me and he's like, "Hey, would you like to come work for me?" And I was like, "Sure. What do you do?" And he's like, "We do property management." And I was like, "I don't know what the hell that is, but let's figure it out." And turns out he worked for probably one of the larger property management companies in Tampa, Florida at the time. And the first day I started there, he said, "Here's 16 properties. Go ahead and manage them. Figure it out." I'm a 24-year-old kid. I have no clue what to do or how to do it, but I learned by fire pretty quickly. And I'm proud to say it took, almost 8, 9 years before I ever lost a property. And that was important to me because I wanted to make sure they were getting good service. But I learned a lot about the real estate business through property management. And by property management, I mean I was managing high-rise condominiums on the beach to HOA communities in a neighborhood. And I did, eventually when I moved up to Boston, I had one rental multifamily property in New Bedford that I managed. It was actually 3 different buildings, but one owner. So did a little bit of project management, analyzed and bid out insurances, oversaw contractors, put budgets together, did variance reports, analyzing P&Ls and balance sheets for every property to make sure they know where they stood and where we could budget for next year, helping out with capital reserve studies. So I had a plethora of knowledge just in general in the real estate world, which was great. And then in 2018, when we moved down here, I asked my wife, can I start to sell real estate? Because I got burnt out of the property management side of things. So I started to sell real estate, quickly met a group in downtown Charleston that had a breakfast meetup over on, I think it was on 60 Bull Cafe. And I met some awesome people there. Shout out to Kelly Garrett, Danny Randazzo, Chris Lamb. I could just keep naming them. Some really great people at that breakfast meetup. And little did I know that going to that breakfast meetup would change my life. And it brought me to where I'm at today, where, able to build Rivers Capital Group, where I have 2 full-time employees, many business partners that I either joint venture with or partner with on companies, and looking to just build this out. And just been so blessed that I've met that one community. And that one community helped me understand 2 things. Having the right mindset and being around the right people with that mindset, you really can do anything you want in this world. And the other thing was, you can make money. I know everybody's heard this. You can make money. Most people can make money. Some people can save money, but multiplying money is really where true wealth is built. And 2 people in that group have really taught me how important it is to multiply money and how important it is to have that right mindset. So that's why a few months ago when we were talking about this, it just really clicked. And I'm like, you know what? Compound mindset. You kind of bring them all together, because whether you're trying to use that compound effect to just multiply your money and build your wealth, you can utilize that in all aspects of your life. Like, we have 6 key categories that we talk about with the compound mindset. It's health, wealth, spiritual, relationships, personal growth. And I like to put it this way because I think it's important to think of it this way. It's just making the world a better place. So of those 6 areas, we can actually compound each one of those areas in our life, that just every day we're a little bit better in these areas, or maybe every week or every month we work and we compound these areas with the right mindset and get to a place that's just a little bit better each day, a little bit better each week, each month. And before you know it, 2-3 years from now, you're living a much better life because of those 2 factors. So that's where we came up with it. That's what Rivers Capital Group's about. I like to think of us as very, very mini, very, very small, but kind of a mini Blackstone is what we're trying to gear towards. So we can kind of continue to develop and grow on a bunch of different services and make the real estate industry better. And I personally am trying to get better myself on a daily basis. So by putting this together and making the compound mindset, I'm going to use it to actually help me out, because there's plenty of areas where I need to get better in life. And I try, and I do that in lots of different ways, whether it's, like I said, being around the right people to get my mindset proper, or, talking to a therapist, another good way to kind of get your mindset right and help you become a better person. Just being around the right people. Volunteering. We'll go into that. We'll go into all these in a lot more detail. later on, but like every one of those 6 categories, some are going to weigh a little bit heavier on you, some a little bit heavier on me, but those categories are where we could really better our life and compound our life. So as I mentioned, what is compound mindset? It's exponentially multiplying all areas of our life through an abundance mindset. So just like that says, we're just growing all areas of our life by having that abundance, that positive, that growth mindset. Anybody who read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, I believe her name is, it's great. They talk about fixed and growth mindset. That book really stuck out at me because I'm like, wow, just little things you say to your kids on a daily basis, or how you talk to people and how you think about life. Even if you 75% of the time have a growth mindset, you'll catch yourself being like, oh, I just made that comment. That was kind of a fixed mindset. That's kind of a mindset shift that I got to make. And you start catching yourself, and it just helps you grow that little bit better each day. It's something that really stuck with me, and I absolutely love it. Or a lot of people talk about the scarcity or abundance mindset. It is so important to have an abundance mindset in life. It really is. Like, it's a glass half empty, half full. You could be put in any situation, and based on your mindset, you're either going to grow from it or you're going to use it as an excuse, and it's going to hold you back. And then you're going to complain. You're going to have the victim mentality, and it's always everybody else's fault. But in reality, no one lives a fair life. Life isn't fair. No one lives an equal life. Life isn't equal. Are you going to overcome it and have an abundance mindset? And I'm not saying you have to have it all the time. Guess what? We all have bad days. There's plenty of days. I just sit on my couch, I watch a movie, and I say, you know what? I'm not doing anything today. I don't want to think. I don't want to deal with the world. I just need a me day and just reset. But you reset. You take a day, you reset, and you get back at it. You don't take a week, you don't take a month or a year. You get it done in that day, and you reset, and you go and attack it again. So I think some of the biggest points are when you're around the right people and think the way they do, you will grow. You will grow. You will absolutely be a better person, and you'll be happier from it. I can't stress that enough. Where I'm at in my life right now is because of amazing people in my life. And with this podcast, what I want to try to do is just give you tips, information, things that I've done, bringing guests throughout the time about talking about each one of these topics and how they've bettered their life and how they're experts at these areas and what they can do to bring value to you, to help you be a little bit better in each one of these categories on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I'm going to dive deeper over time into these 6 areas. Again, it's health, wealth, relationships, spiritual, personal growth, and making the world a better place. So over the next 6 weeks, I'm going to be going each podcast, not 6 weeks, over the next 6 episodes. Each podcast, we're going to dive into each one of these specifically to go detailed into it on what I do, what I recommend, who I surround myself with in each one of these areas to make my life a little bit better. Or guess what? There may be 1 or 2 areas, and I know of one, that I could point out that I'm not the best in, and I got to figure it out. So maybe it's people I'm going to be reaching out to. You don't have to have all these figured out. You don't have to have everything perfect right now. It's going to take time to build. And I'm excited about that. Like, I know what I'm really good at, and I know there's a lot of these areas that I need work in. So I'm excited to build those and talk to people who are really good in those areas, and then learn a little bit from them, and then grow my life better. So we will be talking, to me, the meaning of a few of these, just to get the high level discussion point, is like health. It's not just your physical health, how strong you are, how ripped you are. It's mental health. And honestly, I think mental health weighs more than physical health. Like, you need to have your mind right to be able to come home to my daughter and be in a happy mood. And no matter what happened at work that day, just when she sees me or when I see her, I could just focus on her because my mind's right. Or my wife, and make sure that I'm attentive to her. Obviously, physical health is important as well. I'm 42 years old now. I've had major heart issues. Knock on wood, they're all good right now. But had some major surgeries and different medical things in my life that I want to be physically fit. So I'm 42, my daughter's 1. When she's 20, I'll be in my 60s. I want to make sure I can still hang out with her, go for hikes, experience life with her, and I'm not sitting on a couch and I'm just out of shape and I didn't keep up with myself. So physical health is really important in that aspect as well. When it comes to wealth, it's not only, part of that is your career, your job, or what you're doing right now. That's your wealth aspect, but it's also your generational wealth. Like, how are you going to pass down wealth to your kids? And wealth doesn't necessarily mean money. It may just mean what money's about and financial literacy and helping your kids have an edge in life on how to make money, how to build money, how to multiply money. You don't necessarily have to give money to them. Like the phrase, you lead a horse to water. I mean, that's the important part. I want my daughter to understand whatever she wants to do in this world, she can do, and give her the tools to make that happen. So that's what I think of when I think of wealth. Relationships. I mean, we have relationships with so many people, your spouse, your husband, wife, or just significant other. I mean, that's such an important thing to continue to build on. If you don't build on that relationship, it fades and it goes away. And I've seen it multiple times, and I'm divorced myself. I failed as a husband early on with my first wife. I've learned from those things. I've understood, at least for the most part, what I did wrong or what I need in a partner. And now this marriage is better than ever. Because we just click, we know each other, we communicate pretty well. Friends, relationships with friends. I think one of the biggest things I've learned over life, especially over the last 4 years, have really made a big difference in my life because my mindset has shifted, because I've paid attention to it and I've learned about mindset. But friends, I mean, how many of us out there say, oh, this is my high school friend, this is my grade school friend, friends that we've had during certain phases in our life that may not really match up to what we're looking to do now in our life to when we were in high school or in grade school. Or maybe some of those people are helping us be even better people to this point. I got a friend from grade school that I'm still best friends with right now, and he helps me be better. So it's surrounding yourself with people that make you better, including your friends. Like, take a look at your friend circle. People talk about all the time, you're the sum of your 5 people you hang out with the most, and make sure those 5 people are making you better and you're making them better. Not just one-way street. It's both ways. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with those types of people that you guys are growing together. You're happy together. You're making each other's lives better. You may travel together. You may hike together. Maybe your physical partner, or help with your mental health. But make sure these friends are the right friends, and don't be afraid to not be friends, or you don't have to be close friends with people that don't match up to your goals or aren't necessarily making you better. It doesn't make them a bad person. You just may be going in different directions in your life. Nothing wrong with that. But it is important for you to understand that. And if you want to better your life and grow, you need to be around people who are either have already grown there and you're following in their footsteps, or that want to get there with you, not trying to take you down and tell you reasons why it can't happen. Again, that goes from your fixed to growth mindset. Fixed mindset, they'll tell you it didn't work for them or how it doesn't work, and that's what they'll be focused on. Whereas that growth mindset is, how do I make it work? It's not if it can happen, it's just how do I make it happen? And maybe that how is a really big how, but there almost is always a how. When it comes to spiritual, a lot of people are religious. That's absolutely awesome, whatever your religions are. Me personally, I'm just more spiritual with meditation. So we'll dive into that a little deeper. And there's lots of different ways you could be spiritual, but it's just getting your mind right there with however you either pray or just one with nature, or whatever the case is there. Again, a lot of people show that in a lot of different ways. And there's no wrong or right way. It's whatever's best for you and makes you a better person. Personal growth. To me, personal growth is, you got your hobbies. How are you learning? How you make yourself better? I love audiobooks. I love just sitting down and reading a book in the morning. My favorite thing is getting up about 5 a.m. and just grabbing a book and reading for about 30 minutes. And then, or maybe some mornings just listen to an audiobook, but I do like to read as well. Write down the gratitude journal and get the day set on the right path. It's just amazing. Like, the days that I sleep in late till about 7 a.m. and you wake right up with my daughter, Yeah, it's amazing. I absolutely love my daughter, but not having that right headspace for an hour or two makes a big difference. So it's personal growth. Like that's how I personally grow in the morning with all that focus is where I personally grow. Some people are in the afternoon or at night. They're, the night owls. That's where they grow and learn and become a better person. But it's also hobbies and travel and learning different cultures. I mean, personal growth is a lot of different things at once, and it's whatever gives you drive or just makes you better as a person as a whole. And then last, and definitely not least, is making the world a better place. Again, I just like wording it that way because it doesn't necessarily mean everybody's like, all right, well, I donate to charity. That's awesome. Donate to whatever charity is in your heart. Make sure you look and make sure they're using the proceeds for what they say they are. I think that's important, but whatever charity is near and dear to you, that's amazing. Maybe it's donating your time. Maybe you just volunteer at certain charities because, that helps them out. And that's another awesome way to help make the world a better place. But let's not stop there. Let's start talking about what if we just smiled at one person a day or said one thing nice to a random person or did one act of kindness on a daily basis. I know it sounds cheesy and the pay it forward, we had the whole movie and everything, but seriously, the amount of hate on social media, the amount of hate out there in the world, what if we just one nice thing a day, go out of your way, you hold the door an extra 1 minute for 3 more people to walk out, or again, it's just a smile to someone. Let's just make the world a little bit better each day. And hopefully that trickle effect, that person's like, oh, you know what? That person waited 30 seconds to hold that door. I'm going to do it for someone else now. Or, you know what? I was having a really bad day. I was thinking about going to the bar and just drinking away my sorrows. But this person gave me a smile and said something really nice to me. And I'm on a better trajectory now. I'm going to go do something positive with my life. And these things actually do happen. Maybe not often, but they do happen. So as I mentioned, we're going to be diving deep into each one of these areas and what it means for me, where I'm succeeding in life at these areas, where I'm failing at life in these areas. And again, we fail forward. So if I'm failing, I just see that as a learning experience, not necessarily that it's a negative thing. But we're going to really dive deep into those areas. And I'm going to start having some guests on so we could really dive deep with those guests in these areas. And one of the things, we're going to be starting a compound mindset community in 2023. This is going to be awesome. This is going to incorporate we have a planner that's being made up. So everybody could take their goals. We'll put it down in the planner together. It'll include a 1-hour session. We'll sit down and go over your goals and really map it out. Put a roadmap to success of how you could compound your life and your mindset. So we put that together, and then we're going to have a community where once a week, we'll hop on. We'll be chatting about what happened this week, what didn't happen, how could we help, how do we help each other grow. I'll have some guests on occasion to help that happen. So basically, you could build your life like a business. So we'll have a nice community, and it's just going to be people who are just all in there for the same reason, just helping better each other and get better at life and compound life. So we'll be releasing that soon, and we're also going to have probably a once-a-year mastermind with that group, so we can kind of catch up. How did the year go? What do we have for the final 2 or 3 months? We'll probably have that in the fall. And then how do we help each other grow, and how do I help people grow, and how do we kind of work together to be better people? So that's what the compound mindset is. I really wanted to just hop on here in this first episode and tell you who I am, kind of where it came about, and what our goals are going to be in 2023. And I'm really excited about this because I think it kind of intertwines what a lot of people are doing out there, and it just really helps us grow. And we're going to really dive deep into things and again, just ways to make us better people, more productive, more successful, and just honestly, the biggest thing is just happier in our lives. That's the goal. And so I just want to leave you with, as we talked a little bit about this, but just be positive. Again, in the news, in life, in social media, how important it is to just positively impact people's lives. So I'm going to challenge you, just hop on social media and just say something positive, or post something you're grateful for, or someone who you're grateful for, or someone who recently did something really nice for you or to you. Give them a shout out. Social media, or just shoot them a text. It doesn't have to be known by everybody. Just go make someone's day, someone who maybe made your day better, and you're really thinking about it, you're like, you know what? That person really did go above and beyond. I want to give them a shout out. Or I want to give them an extra text and say, you know what? Thank you very much for doing what you did. You're amazing. I appreciate you. I try to tell people all the time how I appreciate them because I think that is important. People really need to understand and know that they are appreciated. So I'm going to leave you with that note, but I appreciate you listening. Again, this is Dan Rivers with Rivers Capital Group. This is the Compound Mindset Podcast, and I look forward to the future of what this brings. Thank you.